Hey everyone, this is Rosemarie from the Unfinished Lesson, and this is another Quick Win series. In this particular series, we're taking a look at adapting online group lessons for our special learners. Now, if you don't teach online, don't worry, you can actually still use these strategies for the most part in your in-person group lessons. If you haven't watched the rest of the series, go to the description below, make sure you click those links. There's tons of ideas. And also this series builds on what we talked about in the previous videos. All right, so let's hop into this one. In video 3, we're talking about auditory and visual overstimulation. So by overstimulation, what I mean is that there's just too much information, whether it's that they're hearing too much information or seeing too much information, and it's overwhelming. So if you could imagine that, for example, you can hear the buzz of the computer, you can hear every single person talking, you can hear that your sibling in another room is saying something, or that they're playing with their blocks or their Lego, and like you're hearing everything, but you can't tune out everything. And that can be what it's like, right? And I kind of focused on the auditory in that example, but visual is the same thing. Reducing all of that makes it much more possible for your student, your special learners, to be able to participate in the group lessons in the same way that everybody else does, okay? It also can help make sure that parents feel comfortable and your students feel comfortable actually attending the group lessons. So when I used to do in-person group lessons, I remember one of my students, one of my special learners, he didn't attend group lessons for a full year. He wanted to, but he knew being around other people, doing all sorts of activities was going to probably be overwhelming for him. And so his mom and I agreed that each group lesson, as it was coming up, I would say, hey, we have a group lesson coming up. I can tell you more about it, and you can tell me if you would like to come to this one. After a year, he was ready. So part of it was making sure that he understood I was going to take away a lot of the things that were going to overstimulate him so that he could feel like he was at his social best and he could learn just the same as everyone else. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, online, have everybody mute their audio. We do this in a lot of meetings. It's kind of standard at this point, but have everybody mute their audio. The only person who gets to have their audio on is the person talking. Use hand signals. I love using hand signals because if I have everybody yelling at the same time, I'm probably not going to hear all the answers, right? The audio is going to cut in and out for certain people. And so by using hand signals, something very simple, right? It can even be hold up your hand. It can be, hold up your finger numbers, whatever it might be, but just simple hand signals that let you know what your student is answering or what they are wanting to do next. Minimize the distractions on the screen. So, my walls don't have a lot on them, right? So there's not a lot of visual distraction. But even more importantly than this, for my special learners, especially when we started doing online group lessons, I showed his mom how to switch to speaker view. That way, if he felt like the gallery view where he could see everybody was too much, he could, or she could, press the button and it was just speaker view. So then all of a sudden it's just one screen. It's not the whole screen filled with different faces, right? Choose videos that don't have a lot going on visually, especially if you want the student to follow along. Choose music that's really easy to listen to if you're wanting them to answer questions while listening to it. So things that are super fast and you're asking them to track a bunch of things will probably not work. But even if it's a fast piece, For example, maybe it's we're only going to listen to the dynamics, and then choose songs that have dynamics that it's the same dynamic for a while before it changes. Yeah, just make sure that whatever questions you ask, whether it's videos or questions, that everything is broken into little mini segments so that they can focus on one thing at a time. It's not, hey, here's the 5 questions I want you to answer. So now you've probably auditorily overstimulated. They're watching a video. There might be overstimulation from the visual part of it. And if there's music happening at the same time, now there's just a lot going on. So let's make it easier. All right, before you go on with the rest of your day, I have a goal for you. Of course, I always have a goal for you. What steps are you going to take to reduce the auditory and visual overstimulation for your special learners? Let me know in the comments below, okay? Remember, it doesn't have to be anything complex. It can be simple solutions. And in fact, simple solutions are the best. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. All right, have an incredible day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.